Hello and welcome to our top 6 of things you can do with a multi-channel potentiostat, but maybe you're not aware of. Let's immediately get started. Did you know that in our software MultiTrace you can actually combine multiple instruments in one software window? You could take a multi-MStat 4 and connect different instruments to it. And then in the software, you can treat them like one instrument. And then you would have one big multi-channel instrument made from different, for example, also single-channel potentiostats. You can also combine multiple multi-channel instruments at the same MultiTrace window. This is very easily done in our software. You just select the option combine multiple instruments, a special window pops up and you do all your settings that you want to do. That brings me immediately to point number 2, which is you can actually give your channels custom names. This is very similar to combine instruments, but you can choose combine multiple instruments even if you just have one multi-channel connected. You choose combine multiple instruments and then you choose the mode that you want. You just click on it, choose a custom name. Let's say, for example, this one is for battery measurements. This channel is for corrosion measurements. This one might be for a fuel cell. If you then pin your channels, it will remember that you made these changes. And when you go into the corresponding mode, it will remember the names of these channels. Let's go to number 3. You can enable hardware synchronization, which means there's a little checkbox in the simultaneous mode under the channel selection, and then you can enable hardware synchronization, which means usually for every channel the computer sends the parameters for the measurement, and as soon as the channel is ready it will start. This can result in small time delays between the channels in the range of like 100 milliseconds. When you activate hardware synchronization, the start of each channel is in the range of microseconds. Actually, for all techniques that officially support hardware synchronization in the corresponding brochure, you can see a full list on the website. For all these techniques, it will mean that every point of the measurement is synchronized. When do you really need that? That brings us to number 4. And in number 4, we can tell you can use multiple working electrodes of one multi-channel instrument in the same cell. So there are 2 ways of doing this. If you have a galvanically isolated instrument, then you can just connect the reference and counter electrode leads all to the same reference electrode, like all just connect them to the same pin. And for the counter electrodes, the same thing. You connect all the working electrodes to the individual working electrodes, so the physically ones, and you can run different or the same measurements. If you don't have galvanic isolation, you will be a bit limited and it's a bit more complicated to do. But you can still use channel 1 kind of leader for all your other channels, and you let the other working electrodes that you want to use passively following this one. For that, you need hardware synchronization. This is a very brief description, but on our website, you can find an application note with detailed explanations how to do the connections, which techniques are supported, and how to activate the hardware synchronization. So then it's already time to go to number 5. Automation is super handy, and you want your measurements to run automated. And you can automate your measurements with a scripting window of PSTrace. But actually MultiTrace has that as well. In the individual mode, you can, for every channel, you can define a script that it can run. You can even easily copy the scripts between different channels. It's very easy to find for every channel. You just highlight the channel that you want to use. You go to script, show script, and then you make a script for this channel. And then when you start this channel, it will perform that script. You can also easily copy the script to all the other channels. If you want more details, we made a video about the individual mode where we explain that in more detail. And number 6 is a special one, and it's especially for the MultiPalmSens 4. You can see every channel of the MultiPalmSens 4 has an auxiliary port. Well, the auxiliary port can be used to read analog voltages that are put into the instrument. It can send triggers. It has 4 digital lines, so you can also receive triggers. Measure external sensors like a temperature sensor or a force sensor. But a very neat feature is that you can connect a multiplexer to each channel of the multi-PalmSens 4. So I'll just quickly do that here for you. So you connect the auxiliary port, you connect the Limo plug. Each of these channels, of these 10 channels, can have a multiplexer on it, and then you have 80 channels, and where always 10 of them can measure in parallel. These were our top 6 of things that we think you might have missed when operating your multi-channel instrument. If you have other suggestions or videos that you want to see, feel free to write us a message, maybe in the comments, maybe to info@palmsens.com. Otherwise, this is all I wanted to show you today. So thanks for watching and have a great day.